Hello again. We are trying Code Golf for a Twinstick Shooter. Let's see how short we can make this. Let's get our tags out of the way here. We don't need anything else. Those are for suckers. We're getting right to the meat of the problem. Don't actually need this particular bit, but it'll make it look a whole lot nicer. And we have the room. Okay, and that's all we need for our style tag. Next up, let's put in our onload. Okay, and we're just going to start off with some shortcuts. M equals math. This is going to be our hero X position, which is going to be the same as our hero Y position for now. All equals 50. Save ourselves a couple digits there. And hero diameter, or sorry, hero direction. And that, what am I thinking? We don't need to do anything complex here. Let's just set A equal to 0. Short and sweet. Next is our keys. So that's just going to be a nice object to hold our keys. An array for our mobs. Populate that later. One more little shortcut here, m.random. I'm going to have a level equal to 1. That's just going to be a ramping difficulty. See. Let's go on to the next line. We've done enough there. One more shortcut. And now we're going to find our screen height. Equals that body client height. And screen width. Okay. Next up, on mouse move. So this is going to point the direction we're firing. And what are we going to do here? We are going to change our hero direction to m.atan2. Grab that client Y, divide by the screen height, and then we will get the position of our hero. And then client X. So this is all turning into percentages, sort of, decimals. Okay, and now we need our on key down. So we will set anything that we press equal to 1. Because true takes up way too much room, and we don't care about our memory. And then if we let the key up, we will set it back equal to 0. So next up is, you know what? I don't know if it'll fit, but we're going to try it on this line. That's still readable. It doesn't need its own line, right? That's what I think. Let's just get our FPS out of the way. Let's see, 25 FPS, that sounds about right, but if we multiply that, I do believe that's 40. We'll find out. And let's see, this can go right onto that line. That can go onto that line. Looking pretty good. Let's increment that level. So every game loop, it'll make it a little bit harder. And we're going to add, let's go with 0.01, make it a little easy for myself. And we will change the y to, you know what, I think that is going to need its own line, so let's move on. So here's something a little tricky. So we're going to go and subtract not k.w. So that turns it basically into a number. And then add. So this is just, otherwise we get some undefined in there, which is nothing good. But this will work that out for us. And then k.s. I think that's right. Yep. Now we get our x value. Same sort of thing. And now we're going to set up our first mob. So let's go with x of 50. So right in the middle of the screen, sort of, except we need our y. Now, this takes up more room than I would like, but it's the best way I can think of. So if it's over 0.5, go with -5 for y, otherwise 105. Going to give it a radius of level over 6 plus 0.2. Oh, that's not looking good. Yeah, I think we're going to need one more line. So this is going to be v for velocity. And we need a direction. And a team. Let's see. I wonder. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. What else? Well, you know what? I'm going to take that back because there's something else we need to add as well. Our first bullet. So this is just going to place a bullet right where our hero is, going in the same direction as that hero direction. And it's going to have a velocity of 3, a radius of 0.5, and that should do it. Onwards. So here is going to be our HTML string. So S for string here. It's going to be a div. Keep it easy. So then we're just subtracting. This is actually our hero element here. And to be honest, I think there's probably a way to combine this with the mobs, but I'm not going to go into that. We're just going to keep it simple, at least as simple as code golf can ever be. Still, and don't forget the percentages, otherwise we'll be all out of luck. And what else do we need? We need a height and a width. And don't actually need this per se because it would just be red, but we'll make it stand out a little bit. Looks like we have enough room. And let's see, is it going to fit? Oh, so close. So very close. That's alright. We'll keep it red. And now we're going to loop through for collision and various other things. It's probably a way to do this with a for each loop or something, but we're not going to use that for now. Maybe in the next edition. And let's see here. I'm going to set some shortcuts with some destructuring. So that's going to be direction, velocity, y, x, and radius. And that should work. Next line. So I'm going to set this to change it by the cosine of the direction times velocity. Same thing for m dot y, except with the sign, times velocity. Look how short that line is. I wonder if we can fit anything else. No, I think this one's going to be a long one. This HTML, it just takes up too much room. I don't know what to tell you. X minus radius. You know, I wonder if it would be quicker to add a transform, but we'll keep it as is for now. What else? We need top. So that's going to be y minus r. And let's make sure to add our percentages. Can't forget the percentages. And do we need a width? I think we need a width. That's just going to be radius times 2. A little old math formula there for you. Height's going to be the same way. And some more percentages. Always forgetting. Is there anything else? No, I think that'll do. And we don't actually need this. And we don't need that. And I don't know where that one came from. And that should work, we will hope. What else? Here's where it could get tricky. So if x, and that's the x of the m, the mob of I, is less than, let's say, -5, or x is over 105. Can you guess what this is for? And this is to toss away any that go far enough off the screen. Now we could save a line here if we had 64 gigs of memory, but unfortunately I don't, so we are going to have to manage this. Otherwise, we could make it a line shorter. Maybe when I upgrade. Okay, so that gets rid of that if it's off the screen. Else, if probably save myself a exclamation point if I switch this around, but I think I'll be fine. So for, and this is going to be collision. So this is checking if it's on your team, if it's a bullet or not. So let's see, this is tricky. N equals mobs.length. So we're adding another loop inside of a loop. Look at that, I could just do -1. Let's, wait, no, that's still the same. Let's keep it as is. Okay. And let's set ourselves a nice little shortcut here. Save us a little typing. A little space. And let's see here. If I... So this one's quite tricky. So normally you would do this, if I does not equal n. So we're checking to make sure it's not the same particle. But we save ourselves a little bit here by just doing I minus n. Very tricky. Look at that. So this is making sure it is not a bullet. So first it checks if it is a bullet, then it checks if it's not a bullet. And rather than typing out the formula with the exponents, we're just going to do the built-in hypotenuse. So this actually is a little bit slower than the alternative, potentially, depending on how JavaScript optimizes it, but it's fast enough and it takes less room. So here we go. Look at all those shortcuts saving us space. And we're checking if that is less than R of the hero. Actually, no, that's of mob I versus or plus n dot r. Okay, and I think that works. So if that happens, we splice out the mob. Nice and easy, but then we have to remember if n is less than I, we would subtract 1 from I, keep our spot in the array. Otherwise, we just use the normal I and then splice out 1. Oh, okay, remember the splice. And then a nice little break. And let's see here. Can we shorten that up? Where does this one go to? Yeah, that works. Is there anything else? Else if. Where does that thing go to? Oh yeah, that one's on there too. Very tricky. Okay, bunch of lines there. One more collision, and this is with the hero. Okay, comparing it to mob I. Y minus y. And who says that you should label things based on descriptors? Why would you do that when you can just use one letter and save yourself all this space? This is readable, right? Well, we'll find out. And that is less than 2. That's the radius of the hero. Plus R. And if that happens, location.reload. It's the simplest way to reset our state. Actually, that looks okay. What are we forgetting? Right. Gotta actually publish it to the screen. And let's do something fancy here, because I think we're going to have space. We're going to add a score. Something nice and simple, round it off, level times 10, and you know the difficulty increases, so let's increase their score exponentially. Let's go crazy, 1.3. And what else? We add in our string, and let's see what we've got. Look at that, 17 lines. Let's see if it runs. Any luck? What are we forgetting? Unexpected token. Oh no. What could it be, folks? What could it be? Let's see here. Oh, I think I've got it. Look at that. a minus sign masquerading as an equal sign. Let's try again. Okay, let's see here. Alright, let's investigate here. So our hero direction is not a number, which means it's either something to do with this, which looks okay. This looks okay. Here we are. A missing T. Oh! Oh boy. There's just one thing wrong. What is going on with the height? There we are. Let's give this another shot. Okay, now we have a nice big hero. And our score is going up. It's supposed to be rounded, but that's alright. We're going to call it good enough. Avoiding, avoiding, avoiding. Let's see how high we can go. We're above 200. Oh, that was close. It's very close. Going for 300. Okay, we're over 300. And, oh, it's getting pretty fast now. 400. Can we do 5? Oh, that's close. 500. They're getting bigger. Bigger and much faster. I think they're faster than I am now. 600. Oh, so close. 700. Can we do 1,000? I don't think so, but we're going to try it. 800. Oh, Nelly. 900. 1,000. Oh, they're so big now. Twice as big as I am. Oh. Fast and Furious. I'd play this at an arcade. I mean, a few more graphics would be nice. And there it is. A Twinstick Shooter in 17 lines of code. And honestly, it's a little bit fun. So, some other things you could do with this. You can actually give the hero a background if you wanted. You could add some local storage for the score, so that would give it some persistence. We could add mobs coming from the left and right. We could add some power-ups, make you shoot faster or larger bullets, or maybe 2 at once. All sorts of things you can do with this as a base. You might choose to label some of your variables a little bit differently, but overall I would say this came out very well. And I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you all for watching, and check out my website, lycelia.com, if you have a chance. Alright, see you all next time.